Namaste to everyone. Today's presentation is a little bit different. And before I start, let's recite a mantra. I will recite, you can listen and you can focus. Om Pranavo Dhanu Sharoshyatma Brahma Tanlaksh Muchyate Apramadena Vedavyam Sharvatanmayo Bhave Omkaram Bindu Sanyuktam Nityam Dhayanti Yogina Kamdam Mokshadam Chaiva Omkaraya Namo Namah Omkaraya Namo Namah. So today we are going to talk about two of the great sages or saints which have been produced on earth. I think most of us, we know Swamy Vivekananda and Swamy Dayananda. How many of you know Swamy Vivekananda? No. Raise your hand. We have heard about him. That's great. So, you have heard about him, you might have read about him, and then you came to know about him. Okay, this is a great guy who was in India, who took birth in India, he traveled to United States of America, and first time he introduced, that's what we all know, first time he introduced Hinduism to the West. And he made the people realize that the place where all the missionaries are going is not a normal place. It's a place or it's a country of educated people who have already advanced way ahead than the Western world in terms of religion. So what I thought, because when I was in 6th standard, I studied about Swamy Vivekananda. And one of his famous quote, where he mentioned, "A thirsty soul says, I will drink ocean. With my will the mountains will break. Have such sort of determination and willpower and world will crumble at your feet." This is one of the famous quotes and it changed the course of my life. And I definitely dedicate at least 30 years of my life to Swamy Vivekananda. And I am his ardent follower in other way. But as I grew up and I came across Swamy Dayananda Saraswati around 7 years back, I read his magnum opus, the book Light of Truth. I think, how many of us we know about that book, Light of Truth? Great. So one day I started reading Light of Truth when I was working in one of the research institutes in the United States of America. You will be surprised, at 7 in the morning I started reading that book. By 5 when I completed that book, the book totally changed the way I used to think. Suddenly I felt like I came way ahead, like around 100 years into the future from the thinking perspective, because it opened up the analytical mind. So till that time I was unidirectional. After that day I started looking everything from good and bad. Before that, most of the time I used to think, okay, this person is wrong, which means he is or she is wrong. But on that day I realized every person has good and bad. So before you make a decision, you need to find out the good aspects, you need to find out the bad aspects of a person. With that thinking, I thought, why I should not consider analyzing the readings or the teachings of the two great saints, Swamy Dayananda Saraswati and Swamy Vivekananda. So from last couple of months, I was working, taking all the 7 volumes or 6 volumes of Swamy Vivekananda, analyzing each line, what he said, in which book he has said, his letters which he wrote from United States of America, and those letters went to his Ramakrishna mission. So I took most of his scriptures and analyzed. Anyway, during that time I was reading Swamy Dayananda Saraswati also, so it gave me a plenty good opportunity to find out what particular sage has said. And even before I delve into this presentation, very humbly I would like to say, I am a very simple person, but these guys like Swamy Vivekananda, Swamy Dayananda, definitely they are great, and especially Swamy Vivekananda, because the whole world knows him. Our Prime Minister Narendra Modi, right? Wherever he goes, he definitely praises Swamy Vivekananda. The whole India, in almost all educational institute, people learn about Swamy Vivekananda. So I am a very simple person. As a student, I am going to analyze that. I will give the reference. I'll let the people decide. After giving the references, go back, check the references, analyze what he has said, and then you decide. So coming to Swamy Dayananda Saraswati, born 12 February 1824, died 30th October 1883, aged 59. Swamy Vivekananda, born January 12, 1863, died July 4, 1902, aged 39. But do you know whether Swamy Vivekananda was knowing Swamy Dayananda Saraswati or not? This we are going to see. So before even we proceed, you listen to this presentation only if you have unbiased analytical mind and you are a truth seeker. It is not the objective of the presentation to be emotional or to hurt any sentiments. It is only based on facts and figure. There is nothing which has been added in this presentation from my side. It's not my knowledge. It is their knowledge which I am going to present, and let the people of the world decide. So before delving further, one must be ready to accept truth and reject untruth at any cost. Because all of you are sitting here, I am sure that you have accepted this and you have analytical mind and you are ready to go with me in this journey. So 4 subsidiary meaning of reasonings that we need to understand. This is not for this presentation. It is for any presentation or any book, any article which you read. Listening or reading most attentively with a calm mind to the lecture of a learned man. And more so if the subjects are a divine science. Because it is the most abstruse and subtlest of all the sciences. So this is very important. When we are presenting something related to learned men, we all must attentively look towards it, read it and analyze it. Thinking over what one has heard or read in retirement and in removing doubts if there be any by questioning the speaker. Questioning may sometimes be asked even in the middle of a discourse if the speaker and audience think properly. Definitely you can stop me, you can ask the question if you think it is correct and it is the right time to ask. Otherwise, in the last, definitely you can come back to me, send me an email and I will definitely reply to your answer. These 4 points are not mine. These are basically 4 philosophies of Hinduism and I have just summarized them in one line. You know Shankya Darshan. Similarly, we have other 3 more darshan. So I have put those 4 in 4 lines here. Those are all the 4. They say that before you analyze any scripture, you read anything or listen to any even acharya, priest or pandit, follow these 4 points. Rationalizing is the next step. When all doubts are cleared after hearing or reading a discourse and thinking over it, let the inquirer enter into a higher condition where the mind alternates the correct knowledge and wrong knowledge, whether it is the same as he had heard and reasoned out or not. Very important point. This is the last goal, not related to this presentation, but it will be useful if you meditate. Self-realization is the highest condition achieved through intense and continued or uninterrupted effort in study and practice which result in the correct knowledge of the nature, properties, characteristics and desired object. With that said, we have heard Swamy Dayananda is a great revolutionary or Swamy Vivekananda is a great revolutionary or Swamy Vivekananda is a great sage or Rishi Dayananda is a great sage. This presentation is going to tell us who is what and let the people decide. To be a true revolutionary, patriotic or social reformer, one must have fought against Britishers or joined forces against Britishers in any way. Must propagate true culture of Bharat, that is India. Must have fought against the social evil prevalent in society. Must have done some contribution by revamping the ancient heritage of India. This sets the base of the presentation that we are going to analyze these great souls based on these 4 parameters. Let's go ahead. The comparison begins. Oops. So let's start the comparison. Now the similarity between these two great people, you might be knowing they both left home at a very early age. Swamy Vivekananda, he left home, left his mother, brother. He thought, my country is suffering, so much of poverty is there. I must do something for the people of this nation. And he left his home and started wandering in India. He went to different places. He learned a lot about Hinduism. He met one guru who gave him Guru Dakshina. He came to West and propagated Hinduism. On the contrary, other side, if you see Rishi Dayananda Saraswati, again, at a young age, he left his home. He learned sadhana. He learned yoga from different gurus. And finally, he became Rishi Dayananda Saraswati that we know today. Guru Dakshina. Ramakrishna Paramhans was the guru of Swamy Vivekananda sir. What happened? He asked that, oh son, go and propagate the culture of this nation. He did that. Swamy Vivekananda propagated the culture. On the other side, you all might be knowing who was the guru of Maharishi Dayananda Saraswati. Anyone? No? Okay, let's go ahead. Yeah, go ahead. Guru of Maharishi Dayananda Saraswati. That's fine, it's okay. So what happened, I tell you the incidents. Rishi Dayananda, he learned a lot. He learned Sanskrit, he learned yoga and all that stuff. But he was still wandering in the mountains of Himalayas. I think he was nearby Haridwar. At that time, he came to know from one person that there is a guru who can teach him. And the guru lives in Varanasi, right? So he went and he found that the guru is blind. The guru was, he cannot even see. At that point of time, he started learning from that guru, and what he learned, finally the guru asked him. Yes, very good. Excellent. The name of the guru is Virjananji. The guru asked him as a Guru Dakshina that, oh my son, spend your whole life in eradicating the social evil from the society. And he spent his whole life, until unless he died, to eradicate the social evil prevalent in the society. Journey across nation, page 73, Roman Roland on Vivekananda. Even if I have to take birth again and again and bear thousands of hardships in order to help poor, in pain, people in misery, I will take. Considering this in mind, Swamy Vivekananda basically traveled to United States of America and he spread the message of Hinduism among the Western world. But at the same time, though Vivekananda traveled to the other country, he traveled in India also to many places. But Swamy Dayananda Saraswati, he got an offer to travel and he said, no, this is not the right time. First, my house should be proper. The day my house will be proper, it will be set, all the social evils are removed, I will travel to the other part of the world. So that is the slight difference in both of them. Religious victory. On 11 September 1993 in Chicago, he addressed a huge congregation by saying, brothers and sisters of America, this mesmerized people and give them thought that how foolish it is to send missionaries to a nation from where such an educated person has come. And that was indeed a day where the whole nation felt proud. Until today, all of us feel proud of that. Both of them were involved in building an organization. I don't know how many of us know that Swamy Dayananda Saraswati founded Arya Samaj. At the same time, before his death, I think a year or two before his death, Swamy Vivekananda wanted to found another organization where the Vedic teachings can be taught to kids. But he was not successful because might be a very short time. Building benefit of world, both used to think that we need to benefit world in some or the other sense. So this was a similarity in both of them. Establishment of colleges. We know Rishi Dayananda Saraswati and his followers, they succeeded in opening up which college? DAVs, Dayananda Anglo-Vedic College, and then founding all these Arya Samaj. Swamy Vivekananda Saraswati was not so much successful, though he tried his best. He got Ramakrishna Mission and some small Ramakrishna Mission were opened across India. Ramakrishna and Vivekananda. So this is a pretty good information. Ramakrishna and Vivekananda met first time. Ramakrishna and Vivekananda. They met first time face to face in November 1881 at the house of Surendranath Mitra. So this was their first interaction, but at this point of time, Swamy Vivekananda didn't consider Ramakrishna Paramhans as his guru. So the question comes whether Vivekananda was knowing Swamy Dayananda Saraswati or not. With full reference, it is given here. From Complete Works, Volume 5, letter number 76. Almora, 1st June, 1897. Dear Mr. Optimist. This is written by Swamy Vivekananda. I have taken as it is. There is nothing from my side. But if you read, you will find few things written inside the lines. The objection you show about the Vedas would be valid if the word the Veda means Samhita. The word Vedas include three parts: Samhitas, Brahmanas and Upanishad, according to the universally received opinion in India. Of these, the first two portions, as being the ceremonial parts, have been nearly put out of sight. If you read this sentence, it looks like Swamy Vivekananda was slightly confused because he says the Samhitas, Brahmanas and Upanishad, the word Vedas include the three parts, which is not correct. Vedas are Samhitas, Brahmanas are the commentaries and Upanishads are very late. So I am just giving you food for thought. The reason of the opinion was that Swamy Dayananda thought he could find a consistent theory of the whole. So when I was reading about Swamy Vivekananda, there are a couple of places where I saw it looks like he wanted to propagate his kind of Hinduism, which was not based on Vedas. It was more based on Upanishads. Because he never tried to reach into Vedas, and it was beyond his understanding at that point of time, which might be because of the right guru. We will come back into this topic, but here if you read clearly, he says the reason of this opinion was that Swamy Dayananda thought he could find a consistent theory of the whole based on a new interpretation of the Samhitas. Samhitas means he's talking about Vedas. But the difficulties remain the same. Only they fell back on the Brahmanas, and in spite of the theories of interpretation and interpolation, a good deal still remains. So it looks like Swamy Vivekananda used to consider what Maharshi Dayananda Saraswati has done is not of much use. It was not followed by a lot of people. And he wanted his kind of Hinduism or the interpretation of Hinduism to be propagated, which we are going to see. Now, if it is possible to build a consistent religion on the Samhitas, again Vedas, it is 1,000 times more sure that a very consistent and harmonious faith can be based upon the Upanishad. So again, what I said is already mentioned by Vivekananda. So he was trying to make Hinduism based on Upanishad. And Upanishad are simple commentaries. Before that we have Brahmanas, we have Vedas, 4 Vedas, right? So I think you might be getting me what I want to say. There is a guy, Dayananda Saraswati, purely a Vedic guy. He wanted to say Vedas are the true source of knowledge, then come Brahmanas, then Upanishad. Swamy Vivekananda wanted Upanishad to be the base for all the Hindus.